Now, you all probably have heard that in Guantanamo, we've got hunger strikers. In fact, we've got over 100 hunger strikers going on there. There's only 166 detainees, so obviously a majority of them are striking. Even President Obama is frustrated. Recently at a press conference, he said this.
These individuals to die. Obviously, the Pentagon is trying to manage the situation as best as they can. But I think all of us should reflect on why exactly are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Well, it's a great question. I think you should ask yourself. You know, he said there in the beginning, I don't want him to die. Well, okay, then how about you use some of your executive power to change things? But then there would be a political cost. Oh, so you meant I don't want him to die unless it's slightly politically inconvenient for me. So in reality, part of the reason that the hunger strikes began, according to the detainees, is that when they heard the State of the Union for President Obama last time around, they were so dispirited that he never even mentioned them. They were under the false hope, well, welcome to America, by the way, that President Obama would do anything, and because he had said he was going to close Guantanamo, and they thought he didn't do anything in his first term, maybe after he wins re-election, then he would close Guantanamo. When he said nothing, they're like, all right, well, I guess we have no hope, so let's go on a hunger strike. That was among different reasons why they started the strike. So now President Obama says, oh, but the Republicans, they demagogue on this issue. Well, then you fight back. But of course, President Obama never does that, right? In fact, since Obama hasn't done anything about Guantanamo, public opinion on it has shifted against his original position. So now back in 2008, 51% of Americans wanted Guantanamo closed. Well, Obama gave in to the Republicans and didn't close it. So then it became Obama's official position that they weren't going to close it in the first term. So in 2010, 39% of Americans thought it should be closed. So it's slipping. And what happened in 2012? Well, now it's down to 24% of Americans think it should be closed. Why? This is called the Obama effect. The Republicans didn't want to close it in the first place. And when Obama says, well, I can't close it now, a lot of the Democrats then go, Obama's right, he's our president, everybody bow down to Obama. Then, okay, no, Guantanamo can't be closed, it can't be closed. So they go away, and a lot of independents think, well, if the Republicans agree and the Democrats agree, then I guess it shouldn't be closed. So 51%, if he had argued for it, could have turned into 61 or 71%. When he doesn't argue for it, he goes for a position of weakness and he agrees with the Republicans, turns into 24%. Now, it's absolutely outrageous what we're doing in Guantanamo. But we now have bipartisan agreement that apparently George W. Bush and Dick Cheney were right. That we should have a lawless land where we treat people like authoritarian governments would, like dictators would. Now, what do I mean by that? Do you know that out of the 166 detainees, 86 of them are cleared for release? They should be free to go. They are not guilty. And we say, we don't give a damn. Well, because of politics, it's inconvenient to release you. So even though you are not guilty and you have been there for so long, we're not going to release you. Who does that? Does a democracy do that? Does a decent government, a humane government do that? No, dictatorships do that. Authoritarian governments do that. Look, you see the other number? 47 have been designated for indefinite detention. Now, even if you close down Guantanamo Bay, Obama says, even if I move them to the Supermax in Colorado, for example, those 47, I'm never going to try them. I'm not going to give them a trial, and I'm not going to release them. They will be our permanent prisoners, and we will never bring them to justice. Who does that? Is that the America you signed up for? Is that the America you believe in? Is that the America you were taught? Is that what it means to be an American now? That we take people and we say, we don't give a damn if we have evidence against you or we don't. We're not going to try you. We're never going to bring you to court. We're just going to indefinitely detain you, perhaps for the rest of your life. Now, if they do it to those guys, you think they can't do it to you? Oh, no, but they're Muslim. They're from countries I don't know. Yeah, until they're from countries you do know, like the United States. Jose Padilla was a U.S. citizen. What did they do? They indefinitely detained him. After the Supreme Court was going to rule and say that you can't do that, then they finally gave him a trial, and it turns out they were lying about 90% of what they said about him. He was not going to do dirty bombings of Chicago. They had made that up entirely. So what do we know about the 47 people that they're holding, that they're not going to try? What did they make up about them? We'll never know because they'll never have a trial. It's outrageous. And President Obama goes along with it either out of cowardice or because he agrees. He's a conservative and he thinks, yeah, of course. I don't care about rule of law. I don't care what it means to be an American. That's inconvenient for me to either release the guys who I know are not guilty or try the guys I'm not sure about. All right. Part of the problem in Guantanamo recently is because we had a new colonel come in, John Bogdan, and he had a tough guy attitude. Oh, he was going to show these guys. He says, I will bring this camp to how it was in the old times. Great. Maybe we'll start torture again. Terrific. I'm so glad you've cleaned things up. I've got kids at home, and I know how to deal with kids. These are not kids. And hey, tough guy, how's it going so far? So you pushed them and you pushed them, and now we've got 100 of them on a hunger strike. Some of them might die. We're force-feeding dozens of them. Congratulations, you're so tough. And you know what they do when they get new recruits for the United States Army or armed forces to go guard these prisoners in Guantanamo? First, they make them watch 9/11 tape, okay? All right, now you say, hey, listen, some of these guys, like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, did do 9/11. It seems a little propagandish, but okay, that happened, and these are the guys protecting us against these terrorists. Okay, fine, you're fine with that, right? And then they tell them, you're not allowed to go to any site like WikiLeaks and find out what's actually happening. And they never tell them that 86 of them have been cleared for release. They tell them, all the new recruits, like people as young as 18 years old coming to guard these prisoners, they tell them, these are the worst of the worst. They're all guilty, they're all terrorists. When they know that's not true. Now, how do you think the guards are going to react when they're told that? And then they get a new colonel in charge who says, we're going to teach these guys how it is. They even have a sign up there that says, in Camp 6, we have the keys at the end of the day, they're on the other side of the cell. Ha ha! But look, we already know that, man. How much are you going to degrade these people? You want to do terrible things to Khalid Sheikh Mohammed? Let's try the guy and let's bring him to justice. You want to execute him? I'm right there with you. I'm against the death penalty. I might make an exception for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. But when it's the guys who aren't even guilty and you know they're not guilty, oh, we have the keys. We're going to crush you. I know how to treat you. Now, Mohammed al-Zarnuki is a Yemeni citizen. He's one of the guys on the hunger strike. He says, I can't find the words to describe the suffering I'm going through. Another detainee from Morocco, Yunus Chakuri, says, really? Now it's just pain everywhere. I don't want to die in Guantanamo. And even the American Medical Association says, force feeding, which is what we're doing now in order to keep them alive, violates core ethical values of the medical profession. Well, Guantanamo violates core ethical values in all the different fields. It is now, for those 86 who are cleared for release, nothing but a gulag. And for those 47 who are never going to get a trial, it's nothing but a gulag. That's what it is, and I believe that every person from the armed forces that are now assigned to Guantanamo should say, I cannot follow illegal orders. I object. I will not serve in that gulag. Now, I'm not holding my breath for them doing that, especially because they get brainwashed and they don't even know the reality when they get sent down there. But we've got to start taking a stand, because this isn't even about those detainees. It's about who we are. Are you comfortable running a gulag like this, a lawless land, and then calling it America? That's not the America I know and love.